It's a bit of a weird day for gaming news as Microsoft officially gets some kind of confirmation about the Activision deal, but not the kind that they probably wanted. Obviously, they probably had very much planned on this deal not going through till sometime next year, and it probably looks like the case. Now, the UK watchdog officially launches an in-depth probe of Activision deal with Xbox, and of course Sony has responded, and actually Microsoft has responded as well. And for me, I find it to be a little bit humorous every time Sony says anything, because it is so hypocritical that the company that actually buys exclusive timed content and exclusive content for Call of Duty to help sway people is trying to say, oh no, this is wrong, they shouldn't do that, let me know when I can play Final Fantasy VII Remake on my Xbox and get back to me, huh? But yeah, so I wanted to get into this. It should be a pretty good video. If you guys are new to the videos or new to the channel, please leave a like on the video. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of them. It would actually help me out tremendously, and I would be so appreciative. So again, I find this to be very, very interesting, just for the simple fact that obviously we keep seeing, Microsoft have to kind of respond to these things, and it's honestly a situation where Microsoft is always looked at as the bad guy, and to be honest, I just don't understand the negative thought behind this. I want Microsoft to get hold of Activision for numerous reasons. I think Call of Duty and Game Pass makes sense, and I also think that obviously the idea that Microsoft would be able to offer more value and things like that is also a great idea. So, we'll see. Last week, the Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, said its inquiry in the $68.7 billion merger could be referred for an in-depth investigation due to a number of antitrust concerns. Notably, it said it was worried about the impact the deal could have on PlayStation's ability to compete, given that the deal would see Microsoft gain ownership of the Call of Duty series. Now, what's interesting here is the CMA offered Microsoft a chance to submit proposals addressing its concern, but it said on Thursday that the company had chosen not to do so at this stage. Phase 2 of the CMA investigation has seen it appoint an independent panel to scrutinize the deal in further detail and evaluate if it's more than likely than not to result in substantial lessening of competition. It's unclear how long the next phase of inquiry might take, but VGC has contacted the CMA for further information. The CMA has referred to the anticipated acquisition by Microsoft Corporation of Activision Blizzard for an in-depth investigation on the basis that, on the information currently available to it, it is or may be the case that this merger may be expected to result in substantial lessening of competition within a market of markets in the United Kingdom. Now, the proposed acquisition is being scrutinized by regulators around the world amid concerns about antitrust issues during a time of increasing consolidation in the gaming industry. According to Financial Times report published on Wednesday, regulators and others involved in the deal are also expecting a lengthy EU probe once Microsoft officially files its case in Brussels in the coming week. It is a big deal, a difficult deal, a source said familiar with the transaction told the FT. It needs an extensive investigation. Earlier in the month, Microsoft provided some clarifications on its plan for the future Call of Duty should the acquisition get the go-ahead. In a statement to The Verge, Xbox boss Phil Spencer said Microsoft had committed to making the series available on PlayStation for several more years after Sony's current market deal with Activision expires, and during this period, Call of Duty games will release on PlayStation. They would have feature and content parity. Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan, who is reportedly seeking access to Call of Duty games on equal terms in perpetuity, responded by calling Microsoft's proposal of keeping the series on PlayStation consoles inadequate. The current deal between Sony and Activision is believed to cover this year's Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, and a new game from Black Ops developer Treyarch, which may not arrive until 2024. It's so funny to me, though, personally, that Jim Ryan wants access to Call of Duty games and equal terms in perpetuity when they're buying exclusive things and keeping them off of Xbox to begin with. It's totally sort of a biased thing going on anyway. So you know, I think that it's strange, and Sony has apparently welcomed the news that the CMA has expanded its inquiry. It claims Microsoft controlling games like Call of Duty would have major negative implication for gamers and the future of the gaming industry, but Microsoft has also responded. A company spokesman told VGC it makes zero sense business-wise for Microsoft to remove Call of Duty from PlayStation given its market-leading console position. So both Microsoft and Sony have sort of, responded to this, and we keep seeing, all this kind of stuff happening over and over again, where depending on which side you're on or whatever. But I guess we'll see what happens in the future. Like for me personally, I think it's silly to keep dragging this out. Obviously, Sony is going to be salty and upset about this because Microsoft will be able to do what they want at some point with their franchises that they own. And I look at it like Sony feels like what's good for them isn't good for everybody else. Like everybody else should have to adhere to a certain type of rule, but Sony can go out and do whatever they want, despite the fact that they are the market leader, and Microsoft and Xbox is far from that. And then you see all these other companies like Tencent just gobble up and gobble up and gobble up, and nobody says a damn word about it. And to me, I just find it to be quite hilarious, and just a little bit on the ridiculous side. So I do hope that we see something happen before too long, and I hope that obviously as we see something come about, probably some kind of news here in the coming months, that things will, I think, settle back down. That's what I think I'm most looking forward to. So at the end of the day, I don't think that this is like the worst news ever, but clearly not the best news ever either, because obviously Microsoft, if this wouldn't have happened, then we probably would have been able to see some of this stuff go through a little bit quicker, but Microsoft not supplying any kind of additional information means that they probably expected this to get pushed to this probe anyway, and I would assume that obviously the second phase or whatever was something that they just expected to happen, and so that's probably why they didn't actually go ahead and send anything in there at this particular time. And I think that they don't have to, as a company, just guarantee something forever to PlayStation, because forever is a long time, and I think that when you own something, it makes no sense to do that, like come out there and say how something should be done, or I honestly don't feel like that a company should be able to kind of dictate or anything. Like if they're buying something, then I don't understand the thought process behind why they would do this. So yeah, it's kind of crazy to think, but hopefully all this gets straightened out pretty soon. I'm looking forward to personally the day when I'll be able to play this stuff in Game Pass, and I think that it's going to be able to result in some huge gains for Xbox, and that drives competition, in my opinion. Like, keep it on PlayStation, who cares? But I just think once that Call of Duty and stuff like that is in Game Pass, it's going to drive competition a great deal anyway, and I just find it could be completely hilarious that Sony is crying about this the way that they are. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Anyway, I'm going to link this article, actually there's two of them, in the description below. You guys can check it out, let me know what you think. Please like the video, rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thank you so much for watching. Crap Gamer